What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, we'll continue with the first house series, and we're going to be talking about Mars, the red planet, the warrior within us, uh, our action, what we put our energy to, the thing that helps us carry out our will. And we know the ascendant, it represents our physical body, our personality, everything that we show to the world. And we've covered Sun, Moon, Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter. All benefit planets, right? More positive planets. Mars is a malefic. It doesn't mean that it gives all bad results, but it will give some negative ones because it's just here. That's what it's here to do. Add that negativity in life, balance things out. So I want to make this point that keep in mind, with Jupiter being the planet of optimism and being in your first house, the world very much sees you as a wise, jovial person, someone who's just always looking on the brighter side of things, all right? Someone who's just very out there and just wise. When Mars comes here, and we may not always be able to see these qualities that we display to the world, Mars is highly competitive, and this is the original house of Aries, right? So this is Mars's natural house, and angular houses are quite important. All right, we'll talk about that in the future. Houses 1, 4, 7, and 10, and with Mars being here, it it makes the person very competitive and also impulsive. Now, this is good in the sense of competition is what breeds success, right? You compete, you want to be number one, it propels you to your success. Now, from what I've seen in numerous charts, and with Mars, and keeping in mind, and Mars being a malefic, these people will tend to get into mischief if they choose to. Now, that can mean illegal activity, because one thing you gotta know with Mars is that Mars can represent a criminal activity, right? So this can be a person that, definitely gets himself into some trouble of impulsive decisions and things of that nature. And this is where sign placement and aspect comes into, and it's going to tell you a lot about your Mars. But overall, Mars is comfortable in this house and has the will to power the rest of the chart and get things done. So then that's why you also want to look at who's ruling the first house and how are they working with Mars, right? And with Mars being energy and how we assert ourselves, our the element from Mars is very important because it's going to show what we're naturally inclined, or how we're naturally inclined to using our energy. For instance, Mars in the air signs is very inclined to creative pursuits, ways that they can take what they're thinking, or anything like that, and put it out there to the world, manifest it, right? Mars is energy. So Mars is going to be predominantly, if it's in the air sign, working with Mercury, Venus, or Saturn, right? So you keep that in mind. Obviously, the best for Mars is Mars and fire. Mars and fire represents the athlete. But all in all, Mars in the first house all around represents an athlete, someone who can get out there and do it, right? But it's just your sign is going to show how you really showcase that, right? So, like I said, fire is all around just great for Mars. It can be the athlete, it can be the entertainer, it can be, the religious figure, motivated, right? Mars and Earth. This is the business. These are the business people. These are the people who their personal ideas or things that they're selling, inventing, or whatever. they or business that they're running, they've got the will to make it into a Fortune 500 company, right? And this is key with Mars in 1, 7, or 10 especially. Excellent in the material world and getting gains and succeeding like that. And then, you know, Mars in water definitely is inclined to spiritual pursuits, and that can, be things like yoga, right? Being a yoga trainer, or a meditation teacher, right? Or an astrologer, but also inclined to, like, the medical field as well, taking care of others. You see, so look at Mars in the context of element very specifically also. So also in this first house, the first house represents our vitality. Sign is gonna be important, well, but Mars either gives great health or gives trouble with health. So if he's not in a good sign, like say maybe he's in Cancer or something, and he's in squaring some bad planets and stuff, health may suffer and things of that nature. Um, but for the most part, well placed sign, health is going to be well, right? So if you guys out there with the first house Mars, I'm telling you, you have to find out a way to assert yourself. And for all, physical exercise and things of that nature are very, very much recommended. But like I said, going to element and see what best fits you with asserting yourself. Some of the coolest people I know that, like, some of my coolest friends I know that are just like down to do whatever I can call on whatever occasion are Mars and Gemini. And that's for obvious reasons and things of that nature, but they're just down to try things and make it happen, right? So now the impulsiveness and the immature nature of Mars sometime in this house, because it's like Mars is also still carrying that Aries energy still, like, look at me, adorn me, give me respect. What if Mars is in Leo? They definitely gonna want that appreciation, right? So the relationships here can become a problem, and this is where Mars being a malefic, right? You gotta you have to understand this aspect of your personality and how it's affecting the other aspects of your life, and curb it. So one of the strong lessons from Mars, especially in the first house, is the things that make you angry. Learn to not let them make you angry or make impulsive decisions that you will later regret. And that's why I said it could be a criminal activity. Depending on the Mars, the person could just be down to do some madness, rob a bank or something like that. So it all depends. And and like I said, find ways to express that natural anger that's there. Because if you don't, that's when it gets destructive. And just be mindful of things like that. All right? So this is my interpretation of Mars in the first house. Hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to hit me up. Let's chat, talk about it. Until next time, peace.